everybody, and welcome to week 4. So this is the video where I'm going to explain the assignments for the week and also offer some advice on how you can tackle getting everything done before the deadline. So I know last week was a short week, you didn't have quite as many assignments, but we are back to a full slate of activities and readings and quizzes and all of the normal stuff this week. So again, I think it's important to early on in the week sit down and figure out how you're going to tackle everything. I do also want to say make sure you stick around till the end of this video because I'll be talking about the research participation, which was a requirement I mentioned early in the semester and said I would return to in more detail. So I'll definitely do that this week as well. So here, again, you can see I've listed all the stuff for this week. Kind of like the first 2 weeks, I would recommend starting with your Revel reading. So you're reading chapter 4, so make sure you read the assigned components of that. There's also a Revel quiz for this week, so I would start doing that, again, early in the week, Monday or Tuesday. Probably on that same day, again, early in the week, I would recommend engaging with the discussion board. So these are small discussion groups similar to the last time we did this. And so this is all focusing on brain injuries and football. So I've just kind of put a 2-paragraph summary here in case this is kind of a new topic. Maybe some of you aren't as familiar. And so this was just to kind of orient you to what I'm talking about. And then the questions are listed down here in the 3rd paragraph. And so again, early in the week, please start engaging with the discussion board because I want this to be more of a conversation, not just kind of a blog post per se. So starting early in the week, post your thoughts, share what you're thinking, and then later in the week, check back in, ask people questions or respond to what they said about your comments. So that's what I have for the discussion board for this week. So that's early in the week. Then more midweek, I would recommend going in and looking at the PowerPoint slides and then viewing the videos. That's been broken into 3 parts, so make sure you look at all 3 parts of that. And then probably again on that same day, like midweek, like Wednesday, I would go in and do the assignment. Again, we're still having some issues with people trying to save this file as some kind of a weird internet file, like a Word page. So this needs to be saved as a Word document. It's like in Microsoft Office. So make sure that you're kind of mindful of how you're doing this assignment. So open it in, again, kind of Microsoft Office, go up and save it to your computer, type in your answers, save it, and then upload it back up. So this first question is asking you to, as I reformat it, is asking you to think about how the pandemic is impacting each of us, just day-to-day life. So here I'm mostly talking about stress, not necessarily how the virus impacts people. I'm talking more about the ongoing chronic kind of collective stressor of experiencing a global pandemic. So think about what we learned about the brain, the nervous system, and stress. These next 3 questions are just applied questions, taking the information you learned in the Revel reading and from the PowerPoint and just applying it to some pretty basic questions about the nervous system. So again, once you've answered these questions, save the document, and then upload it. There should be a submit button on your version of Canvas right here. Once you've submitted it, you can go in and look at the correct answers. Okay, so that's midweek. Towards the end of the week, I would recommend going in and doing your timed quiz. I will say that Chapter 4 tends to be the hardest chapter for most students because it is very heavy in biology and brain anatomy. So please make sure you're ready before you start the timed quiz. I want to make sure everybody does well. So make sure you study and feel confident about the material before you go in and do that quiz. Okay, so that's everything for this week. So then what I would recommend doing is spending a little more time thinking about your research participation requirement. So you might remember during the first week, I went through this guide sheet. We talked about it a little bit. So I just want to revisit this and make sure you know that for this class, you have to earn 4 credits of research credit. Okay, so 4 research credits. And so there are 2 different ways you can do that. You can either be a participant in a study or you can write a paper about a study that's been conducted. So students that are more advanced than you in the psychology department are asked to design and execute studies related to topics they're interested in. And so because they are conducting studies, they need participants. And so essentially one of the opportunities is you get to be a participant in one of their studies. So what you can do is you can earn all 4 credits that way. Another option is there's this book called 40 Studies That Changed Psychology, and essentially each chapter describes a different study that's been conducted. So your other option is to write a very brief 2-page paper describing a study from that book. So each 2-page paper earns you 1 full credit. So you can do papers, you could do participation, or you could do a combination. So for example, you could earn 2 credits by being a participant and 2 credits by writing papers. 3 by being a participant, 1 by writing papers. Okay, so you get the point, I think. So this sheet does a really nice job of explaining exactly what the requirements are for earning credits by writing a paper. It also very nicely explains that your 4 credits are due by the last day of class at noon, and if you do not successfully earn all 4 credits, you will lose a full credit. Sorry, I'm really tired today. If you do not successfully achieve all 4 credits, then you will lose a full letter grade. So that means that even if you earn 3.5, you would still lose a full letter grade. So just be really careful to make sure you have all 4 credits. So the new thing that I wanted to point your attention to, as I said in the Canvas announcement, you should have received a Canvas course invitation to a course called Psychology Participant Pool Fall 2020. So please make sure you accept that invitation because it will give you access to all of this great information. So if you ever have a question about SONA, which is the system I'm going to explain here in a second, the participant pool, or how to sign up for a study, or how to be a participant, Elsa is your contact person. So she has Zoom office hours Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 to noon. You can also email her to ask a question, or email her to set up a different appointment outside of her office hours. So she is very helpful. Please use her as a resource. Direct all of your questions about the participant pool to her. So what I'm going to ask you to do this week is watch this video where she explains the SONA system, which is the system that the researchers will use to post a call for participants. So that's how you sign up. There'll just be a list of studies. You go in and can sign up for as many as you want. There's instructions on how to do that. This is the link to the system. This is how to use the system. So this is a presentation that Elsa did that will explain step by step what to do. And then there's just some additional information there. So the kind of added assignment for this week is to go into this page and review the information so that you better understand how to earn your credits by being a participant. I do want to make sure everybody understands this, though, that there are no studies posted yet, okay, or there should be very few studies posted yet. This is not going to really become active until probably, I would say, the 2nd to 3rd week of October. So this week is more of a, hey, this thing's coming, this is what it means, this is how you do it, but we're not going to quite get rolling yet. So just be mindful that this is an expectation for the class. This is something that you'll be busy with doing in a few weeks. Let me know if you have questions, and just be patient while the studies get posted. And Elsa's very good about posting Canvas announcements to make sure people know that new studies are available. So this week's just more about making sure you kind of learn more about that and try to answer some of your questions that I know you probably have about that requirement. And that's everything I have for Module 4. Hope everybody's doing well. Let me know if you have questions or if there's something I can do. And I look forward to hearing your thoughts, especially on the discussion board, because that's a question that I think is very interesting, and I have some personal experience with. So I'm interested to see what you all think. Have a good one.